Earlier this year, I had a deal that 3 minutes made a difference of about $9,000 for my sellers. They were selling their home and we were under contract, had made it to our final day of due diligence, and had just spent the whole day on all of the negotiations and had gotten everybody finally to agree on everything. And the buyers had already signed the amendment. My sellers had signed it, and I had just gotten it back and was literally opening my email to sign my signature and get it back over to the buyer's agent. And I'll remember this because I was sitting in the stands at my daughter's soccer game, just trying to get this last minute thing taken care of before kickoff. And as I opened my email, my phone rang, and at the exact same moment, I get an email from the buyer's agent. He said, "Hey, before you send that over, I need you to check your email." It was a termination. Unfortunately, his buyer had just found out that day that his company was doing layoffs, and he had lost his job and he needed to back out. And I remember just like staring at my phone thinking, oh my gosh, we were probably like 2 or 3 minutes from getting that amendment back over. And the thing is, if we had gotten that signed copy to them, we would have been done with due diligence. The buyer would have been past his deadline to terminate without losing his earnest money. And he would have had about $9,000 on the line. And now my sellers were wonderful people. And while they were devastated about this, I really don't think that they would have held him to that, but thankfully we never had to find out what would have happened. The good news for us is we already had a signed backup offer waiting for us. And as soon as that first contract terminated, I called the backup agent and I was like, hey, congratulations, you guys are under contract on your dream home. And the craziest part of all this is my sellers actually ended up closing for almost $9,000 more than they would have because of that offer and how the negotiations with those folks went. And I've thought about that day a lot because at the time it was so stressful for my sellers. It felt like their dreams and their move was just falling apart. And after several long hours of negotiation, they just were worn out and stressed out, and they felt like everything was going up in flames. And, none of us would have chosen for things to go that way, but it's just a great reminder that sometimes the story isn't over when you think it is. Because for my sellers, what looked like the worst possible outcome actually ended up putting them in a much better position than they would have been otherwise. And I think it's just a great reminder that sometimes real estate and life has a way of showing us that the chapter we think is our ending is just a plot twist. We need to keep going.